as you can see, my die is finished. So now all I have to do is go and transplant it into my main scene, which was going to be my dining room table with the bouncing ball. So what we need to do is open that table. So we're going to use the open command, and we find the dining room table. Alright, so I just opened my last instance of the dining room table. And here we have my base dining room table with my bouncing ball. Okay, so then there's a couple of ways we can bring this die in. We could X-reference it in as a scene or an object, or we could merge it completely into our scene. I'm going to go with the merge for now because it's the simpler option, and it actually makes it part of the scene instead of a reference into the scene. So I find my last reference for my die, I bring her in. I know it's just a single box, and I import that in. I might want to just rename it. The computer will have a quick think while it brings the objects and materials in. So there it is. It's a bit large. So what we need to do now is move it to a relevant point, say on the table. Just going to zoom in on it. Okay. Now I know that dice aren't this big, so what I need to do is scale it down, bring it down to about twice the size of the thickness of the table. So I'm very happy with that. So now we can see I've got my dice sitting on this table here, and it's about the right scale. And again, I say about because it's not necessary to be 100% correct with this. It's just a rough guess. Just move it around a bit, put it somewhere on the table. Alright. So now what I'm going to do for this little die is I'm going to animate it doing something. So what we're going to learn to do now is we're going to learn how to animate modifiers. So I'm going to animate this die jumping up into the air all by itself. So the modifier I'm going to be using is going to be the stretch modifier. Now before we can use it, we have to convert this object back to a editable mesh. Now before, in the previous tutorials, I used the right click mouse button to bring up the smart menu. There's other ways of doing that. One way is to right click on the name here and convert it to an editable mesh, like so, and now it's done. It's that simple. Alright, in the next AVI we're going to go over the modifier and learning how to animate the modifier.